You might have seen two wacky grannies on our channel traveling to unique places and meeting new faces throughout the Commonwealth. Well, that's Granny Beth and Granny Marcia. We had the opportunity to speak to both on their adventure projects and how a recent trip to Brewster confirmed their love for the Cape. Granny Beth shared the genesis and concept of her idea and how the show has evolved from common experiences with baby boomers to traveling around the state.
Well, I started Two Grannies on the road back in 2010, and the impetus was that I had been in business for myself for like 8 years, hadn't had a vacation, started wishing that I had traveled across the country in an RV with my kids, and started realizing that, I had a business that I could do from anywhere. And well, maybe I could just travel and find a way to travel and work at the same time. And well, I wouldn't want to do it alone because I was single at the time, and who could I get to go with me? And I thought of a friend of mine who was a graphic designer who could also work from anywhere. She was a grandmother. So the name came to me, Two Grannies on the Road. And we started that show in community TV in East Bridgewater. And we did that for a couple of years. And the show kind of evolved, and my first partner, Granny, retired. And I got a second partner, second Granny, and we started to do, it was more of a travel show. There had always been like a travel component of the show, but it turned more into a travel show. And then in about 2018, I said, hey, let's visit every city and town in Massachusetts. Okay.
While Granny Marcia shares the same kind of enthusiasm as Beth, she had some reservations before coming on board.
Well, let me tell you a couple of things. First of all, Beth talks about these two other grannies. I've never met them. But one of the problems is she told me to check her freezer. So I'm a little skeptical of these other two who I've never met. And why? I ended up going to a lunch group of women that Beth was, and somebody said, tell Marcia about the Two Grannies. And I said something like, and so she did. And then I said oh, that's right up my alley. And she kind of grabbed me, and we've been going strong for the last couple of years.
With so many trips and pit stops, the Two Grannies have accumulated quite a bit of memories and fun stories. According to Beth, some of the best stories came from unexpected places.
Oh, so many memories. One that always stands out for us, people ask us what our favorite town is, and we always say it's the last one we went to. But actually, probably a year and a half ago, we were invited to Hubbardston by an alpaca farm. And we went to the farm. We had a great time. And someone else in town had offered to take us around town in their Model A, which we got to see all these places. And then he took us to this place where this man and his son have the world's largest collection of Back to the Future memorabilia, including 3 DeLoreans. And we weren't expecting it. It's out in the middle of the country. Hubbardston is a town of 4,000 people. If you drive through, if you blink, you miss it. It was just so unexpected and so amazing. And he had like 5 barns filled of, one was a Back to the Future barn, and there was another one with a Jeep from the original Jurassic Park movie. There was a duplicate of the ambulance from Ghostbusters. I mean, it was just amazing, amazing stuff that he had. So that one really stands out.
And what Massachusetts summer road trip would not be without lobster rolls and paddle boards? The Two Grannies decided to visit Brewster this past summer, and with a little bit of help from strangers, the Grannies were pointed in the right direction.
Well, we were initially invited by a young man who has a kayak and paddleboard rental company, and he has a place further down on the Cape, but he also has places that he rents them out at the Nickerson State Park. And so we said, okay, well, let's do Brewster. We wanted to do a place on the Cape before summer got too crazy. And so that started our day. Once we decide where we're going to go, we go on to a state or to a town forum on Facebook and ask people what we should see and do in their town. And that's what Marcia does.
Yeah, we get about 60 to 160 responses. And when we keep seeing the same thing over and over again, I will call and see if we can come interview and film. Yes, Side and Striker. And that was fantastic. I thought we would be there only maybe 15, 20 minutes. And we ended up seeing how they produce this. And I've been to Brewster many times. I'd never been into the shop. I'd recommend anybody go. It just was fantastic how they make glass plates. They even put photos on them and everything. And I would say that was one of my highlights of the day. And we went to the kitchen cafe, which was good. Yes. What else did we do, Beth?
We had a good breakfast. We had lunch. We had a fish sandwich that was really good.
Yep. JT, the seafood restaurant. So and we do a lot of drive-bys too, meaning that we'll go to different sites that maybe we don't film and interview somebody, but we learn a lot about the history of the town or what's unique about the town. And I think of the Cape, every town's unique and different. And the beaches are wonderful. So it's a special place.
Good.
What advice do the grannies have for potential travel seekers looking to make Cape Cod their vacation spot?
I mean, the air is beautiful, yes, and the whole landscape is beautiful. It's very different. The vegetation, it's gorgeous. I would say don't miss the shoulder seasons, the spring and the fall, because it's beautiful there. And, if you go before school's out and after school starts in the fall, the traffic situation is completely different. And so I would not miss those seasons. If you go, we've been down in the Cape in the winter and there are still businesses open, not as many. So if you want to, get a lot of the places that are seasonal, go in September or go in May, or even June, the first part of June. So those are definitely great tips that I would see in terms of going to the Cape and to the Brewster area. And the beaches are still gorgeous. The birds that you see there, everything is just beautiful on the Cape, and it is very different from the mainland.
And Granny Beth would also like to remind everyone of what's around your corner, and also to enjoy the hidden local town, people, and events.
I keep saying that travel in your own state is still travel. And so, maybe, I don't have the money to go do whatever I want in Europe or that kind of thing. But you know what? We are having the greatest fun, the greatest adventures. We're meeting so many great people and learning so many things by going away a half an hour away, 45 minutes, an hour. It doesn't matter. And when we do a town and we film, people always say, I didn't know we had that in our town. So get out there and explore. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you have a walker or a cane or something like that, other restrictions. There are things you can do. Think outside of the box. Get out there, have adventures, pursue your dreams.